And welcome to Community Viewpoint, a show that informs you of what's going on in and around the city of Jacksonville. And you know, folks, I am so happy to be in your company this morning, and especially my guest this Sunday morning. I love her to death. I've come to know her over the years, and you know, I think it's only fair that I share you guys with her, or share her to you guys. How about that? Just for a little while, all right? You can't have her totally, okay? Because I actually act as a bodyguard, and I let her husband know that while she's away from him, okay? No, stop. All right, hey, I always kind of, sort of clown in a sense when I introduce my guests. But seriously, I am honored to have Miss Simone Blair-Walker in on the show this morning, and she's Miyabachi. That's what I want to call her. She is Miyabachi enclosed, okay? She is the founder. Simone, let me stop. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here again, Mike. I love it.
Huh?
I love it.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Simone, I wanna ask you, Miyabachi really right now at this point is what? Is it like consulting now? Is
I
it
provide,
imagery sort of
yes, I do. I provide consulting, image consulting, beauty consulting, business consulting. Basically, I'm just Miyabachi consultant.
Right. You're an entrepreneur. That's what I like. And oh, okay, that's all right. Okay, I could cut that out. Okay. So basically you're an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. From the heart, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Wow.
That's all I know.
And you have such humble beginnings.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that many times.
Yes, we have. And you've shared with our listeners before how your beginnings were in the beginning, rather, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And some of it really came out of necessity.
Oh yeah, it's survival. It's survival, and just not and also dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just necessity, but it was just dreaming and wanting more than what I had, or believe that there's more out there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it was a part of my drive that kept me focused on the things that I needed to do. To get through it.
It took years for you to get where you are now.
Right.
You had some ups and downs along the way,
Yeah.
and it created such a character in you. Whereas you can draw back on those experiences
Oh yeah.
and share with people
Oh yeah.
as encouragement
Oh yeah.
in their lives. And talk about that a little bit for me.
Well, those experiences, Michael, they created a fighter in me.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as always strong as I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I started out pretty, naive and fragile.
Mm-hmm.
But I also realized that, dreams are there for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and I had hope. That's where I started. I started out there, and I had these dreams and I had these hopes, and I started moving towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent out a message on Facebook yesterday referring to letting just go and just do it, and sometimes you have to leave, and that's it. Sometimes you just got to step out on faith.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We get scared
Mm-hmm.
when we are motivated. We sometimes get these visions and these glimpses of excitement, but then we get scared and we don't do it, or we allow the negativity or people or the naysayers to get in our heads, and then before you know it, you're back where you started,
Okay.
or you just quit.
Yeah.
And that's that battle, I think, that we all have to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a battle that you just go through one time in life and then it's all over with.
Yeah.
It's pretty much at every stage.
Okay.
Even at this point in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to thank God that I am here, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel as if I am on a mountain looking down, and I'm looking back and I'm like, wow, I'm so far.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a battle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You still have to have that balance.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to remain centered. You still have to remain focused, because the higher you go, the harder you fall.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to stay
Wow.
on that track.
That's a thought. The higher you go, the harder you fall.
Yeah, yeah,
The further you fall. Yes.
yeah. You go
So
down. So you gotta stay on top of your things. I
yeah.
mean, it's somewhat easier
Mhm.
because at each stage in your life you get that confirmation which strengthens you at
Okay.
every level.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you never forget.
Mhm.
And for me, remaining humble
Mhm.
is my center.
Yes.
You know, remembering where I came from,
Right.
and then also looking to see who can I help as well.
Mhm.
I get so pumped up and full of life when I can ignite that
Mhm.
juice in
Okay.
somebody else,
Okay.
because it feels so good.
Yeah.
And it feels good when you share, and it feels good when you see a smile.
Mhm.
It feels good when you just see that heart in someone else.
Yeah.
And I just believe in people.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
believe in people. I believe in our potentials. I believe in possibilities. I believe that, anything is possible. We just haven't figured out how to apply ourselves.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out how to use our
Mhm.
resources the right way.
Mhm.
Sometimes people think that they don't have the things that they need in life to be successful, but I think differ. I
Mhm.
think that God has given you everything to
Mhm.
start right where you're at.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And not getting distracted, because
Mhm.
sometimes it's like, let's say for instance, you're all sitting, you all have a project,
Mhm.
and life is like that. We
Mhm.
all have our own personal project,
Mhm.
but then you see someone else's project on the other side and you start doubting your own project.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
yours.
Mhm.
That's for you to be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
Now, you don't get so caught up in the other person's project that you lose focus on yours, but you allow the other person's project to inspire you,
Mhm.
to, allow you to be creative or to come up with other, ideas and concepts. And I
Mhm.
think that's what it's all about,
Mhm.
you know?
You just said, you just preached about 15 sermons in that little short
Oh.
amount of time. And at this point, I want to ask you,
Hmm.
where you are now in life.
Okay.
Let's talk more about that maintaining the balance part,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Go for
Well, where I'm at in life right now. Wow.
it. Yeah.
I'm at a good place.
Mhm.
I have overcome so many things. And I'm at a crazy chapter where honestly, I designed this last year.
Wow.
This is
Okay.
crazy. I
Okay.
designed it last year. I
Uh-huh.
asked God, I said, okay, Lord, you have really, and let me tell you, success, like I said, is so real.
Uh-huh.
And it's all possible. You
Uh-huh.
just got to get it together. You got
Yeah.
to make up your mind that you're going to get it together, and you got to be willing and ready to put that work in to
Mhm.
make it happen.
Mhm.
And I had done my work, and I was definitely, I'm at the place where it's paying off. But
Okay.
no matter what stage you're at in your life, you're
Mhm.
always going to think that there's got to be more for you. You don't ever stop growing.
Okay.
And last year I just said I want to I want more.
Okay.
I want to see where I can go with this.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I thought about another home. I was
Mm.
like, well, what kind of home you want? I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I was like, Lord, okay,
Yeah.
you really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Uh-huh.
And
Mm,
I
mm,
said,
mm.
I don't want to experience that when I'm old either. I
Yeah,
really want to
sure.
do this again,
Mhm.
just like the first dream home. I want to do this while I'm young. And I said, Lord, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that's where it begins. It begins with the mind. It begins with that vision. It begins with creating that,
Mhm.
and it will come. You just need to walk into the right direction.
Mhm.
And I'm here.
Mhm.
I'm in that house. I'm like, whoa. I
Mhm.
mean, it's
Oh yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
What a house.
It
Okay.
is crazy.
It's
And
go ahead.
and I just there's so many things in place. My husband
Mhm.
and I, we're just really we're happy, and we're so blessed to
Mhm.
have such a beautiful marriage. And
Yeah.
even today, I said, sweetheart, I love you, and I said, I thank God that I thank God for everything. He's like, yeah. He's like, who would have thought, two broke poor, poor,
Oh, they ain't
poor
poor folks. They're not poor, okay? All right, no, let's
but
yeah.
we'll be here
Yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah.
and we're doing it together,
Yeah.
and that's
Let me pause you right there because I have to say this, okay? Doc, I know you're listening, okay? And I want to say, when I look at Simone and I see the love in her eyes for you, my brother, man, I just say, man, look, what a fine example of what a marriage should look like and what it should be like. And Simone, I remember you gave me the opportunity to be the photographer for his party.
Right, right.
Um, and I get to observe some things, and man, and especially when they were showing the video of his
Yeah,
his
yeah,
life, which
yeah,
you put together, and another videographer, of
yeah,
course, but
yeah,
you put it
yeah,
together,
yeah.
and I looked at him as he watched it, and I looked at you as you watched him,
Oh.
observing what you put together for him, and I said, God, this is like Camelot rather, in person, man. This is the real deal. And the people that were there just enjoyed themselves and to fellowship with how you celebrated his birthday. Okay.
But let
So
me tell you, with
go ahead.
with
Yeah, yeah.
that, I had to learn to be that. I had to
Okay,
learn to
well,
be that wife.
sure.
I was Miss Independent for so long that honestly,
Uh-huh.
it was scary making that commitment to someone else and giving
Mm-hmm.
that that power, I
Yeah.
would say, or that security,
Mm-hmm.
and put that in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
But there's a method to all that. There's a reason why we as women should be that strength for your man.
Okay.
There's that reason why you should honor him in that way, and allow him to be that king.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For me, I've always believed that I was a queen,
Okay.
and a queen deserves that king. But too many times in relationship, we struggle for that sense of power,
Yeah.
or who has the authority. But honestly, I believe as women, when we learn to support him
Mm-hmm.
in the way that he really needs it,
Mm-hmm.
he becomes stronger,
Yeah.
and you really get to be that queen.
Okay. We're gonna hold just tight on that thought. We'll continue, all right, because we have to pay the bills right now, as we
Okay.
say. All right,
Okay.
folks. Hope you're enjoying this, and especially for you ladies who are listening out here, out there rather. And we're going to talk about some other things as far as entrepreneurship, and especially being a black woman. You know how today's society is. Okay, we'll bring it right back. You keep it right where you have it. Break the knob. We'll be right back.